This right here is the Cricut Explore Air 2. I have Cherry Blossom. They come in different colors. This is the tool department where you have the weeder and the spatula. You can put your scissors in there. You can put your pins in there, which I haven't had a chance to open my pins yet. Just to go ahead and keep them out the way. Here's a cartridge opening that you can put cartridges from past Cricuts that you may have had. This is my first one, so I don't really know, but I do know that that's what this is for. So this is how you open it. You just press open it. It opens by itself. You don't have to do much to it. A, that's where you put the pins at. B, that's where you put the blades at. And this is the cutting area. This is where it cuts. So over here on this side, this is how you turn it on. When you turn it on, you'll hear it make this noise. And over here is the dial, and you have, this is where you just turn it to whatever you're cutting at the time, whether it's paper, vinyl, iron-on, light cardstock, bonded fabric, or poster board. Either one, and it's very easy. And if you're cutting something like wood or something that you don't see up here, you go to custom, and it'll pop up on the screen, and it's pretty self-explanatory. So right here, like I said about the mat, this mat doesn't have any vinyl on it right now, but whenever you do put the vinyl on it, which I'll show you in just a second, you go ahead and upload it right here like this. So when you upload, you go ahead and press load. It'll load the mat for you. So whenever the vinyl is up there, that's basically letting you know that's time to go. And you know, I'm not tugging on it very hard, but it's in place. And once I want to let it go, I'll just press this and it'll push it right back out. This right here this is how you tell it to go. This is how you get it to pause, of course. You go to Design Space in Cricut. This is where everything is done at. This is where you make all your projects and everything. Right up here is where all your projects that you've done in the past are. These are just my little wine glass projects. You keep going down. These are ready to make projects, tutorials, all that good stuff. Just gives you a lot of insight on what the Cricut is capable of doing. You can either start right here with new project, or you can go right here, either or. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Here's your design space right here. It's set up just like your cutting mat is. I have a 12 by 12 cutting mat, so of course it stops about right here. Same thing with down here. This is what it looks like pretty much. These are templates, so basically what the templates are, it just gives you some type of canvas to create on, so you'll basically have an understanding of what it might look like whenever you actually put your design or your decal on the actual product. So I'm doing a toboggan today, so I don't really feel like I need it. I've actually already like measured across, I think it was like 7-8 inches, so I plan to make the decal about 4 or 5 inches wide to kind of center it so it wouldn't be too big or too small. So I don't really think I need this, but this is actually very good. I'm gonna use this in another tutorial one day to kind of give you an understanding of how this works. It's real neat. But right here are projects that other people have done, and just gives you some inspiration, give you some ideas on stuff to work with, especially with the holidays coming up and stuff. So yeah, this is pretty cool too. Images. So I actually just got subscribed to Cricut Access. It gives you the opportunity to explore way more imaging. So like right over here, say I just put in free. This is what the free images are if you don't have Cricut Access. $9.99 a month because I'm doing it monthly and not yearly. So that'll basically, like, that's what that is. So if I go to Cricut Access, you see the difference in the types of pictures that show up, and the type of stuff you get. So yeah, that's a little bit extra. Cartridges, I'll show you where the cartridge section at in the Cricut, and these are different, just different cartridges that you can use. Over here, text, that's what I will be doing down here to go ahead and put on the hat. I'll come to that last. These are the shapes. This is where you upload your own pictures if you want. So back to the text, we're gonna put Kid Gang on the hat, something real simple just to show you how it's done. It'll come up down here. You go over here to your fonts. So fonts, another thing with Cricut Access, I get access to a whole bunch of different more fonts. So you see how up here you got these type of fonts and they're free, but you know, you get scrolling down and you start seeing stuff like this over here. You try to use those, it'll let you, but whenever it's time to make it, it'll make you it'll say you have a purchase. So yeah, these are the different types, and like I said, you can see little prices right there. But if I filter this to my fonts, now that I have Cricut Access, it gives me access to now everything. You won't see any prices over here because everything over here is filtered to fonts that I'm able to use. So, just looking around, something quick. Let's use this. Looks kind of kiddish. So it'll change it for you down here once you change it. And of course it has a style and a font size and all that good stuff up here. If you want to use curve, which I've done curve on like mugs and stuff, just depend and it'll do like that, which is pretty cool, and go up, and I'm just gonna leave it. So something I was telling you guys earlier too about the space. So like I said, I wanted to make it about 4 or 5 inches wide. I'm gonna set it right here. So basically that's exactly what you put in. That's exactly how you lay your vinyl. A little over 5 inches across, a little over an inch down. I would put my vinyl and set it up right here. See, this is a mistake that I made when I first got the Cricut. I put it right here, centered it, wanted to look nice, put it right there. Went to make it, and I had a whole sheet of vinyl. It printed out just this, but then I had all of this extra space. All this empty cutout space that I could have used for something else. So I've started to kind of do like this and kind of drag this up here in the corner. So when I put my vinyl down and this cuts out, I still have all this space over here. So guys, here's the mat I was talking to you about. Mine's a little sticky, and well, they're all sticky, but this one has a lot of lint and glitter and a whole bunch of kind of stuff on it from my last projects. It's not hard to clean. I just didn't get the chance to do it before this video. So this is the light grip one, which is probably the most common. They have different ones for, of course, different types of projects. This is the one that actually came with the bundle, 12 by 12. This is a cutting mat. So this is what you cut all your vinyl on. Okay, so this is actually my heat transfer paper. I don't have much. I had gold, it was gone. So I've been making a few hats now, so I don't really have much. But so whenever, this is what I mean. So when you bring this over here, you see it's showing about 5 inches across, a little over 1 inch down. So when you bring that over here, see, vinyl, you do color up. When you're doing heat transfer, you put the shiny part facing down. So what I meant earlier is, see, I have this piece of paper, I have this piece of vinyl. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and flip it over and place it down like that. So when you place it down like that, it is 5 inches across, a little over 1 down. And what I meant earlier when I said about wasting the mat, because it's gonna mirror it. The mat is the same way it looks right here, it's gonna look right here. You see how this is portraying a 12 by 12 mat, and this is up in this corner. This is a 12 by 12 mat, and this is in this corner. So what I said about wasting paper is, say, you know, you had a whole lot of paper and you had it right here, and say this all was one. So you bring this down. This is 6 inches down, and you know, whenever it's only going to print off right here. So then you're wasting all this space right here. Same way if I was to take this and put it right here. Say I was to put it anywhere other than this corner. It's in that corner, so that's where it's going to print. If I move it down right here, then I can move this down right here. But it doesn't, so, you know, it's gonna all fit. It's gonna all go right there. And I've learned in just this short time I've been working that I don't really like wasting vinyl. So then you go to make it. Boom. Then we got this right here. You can move it all around the board. Like I said, I did this last time, and that's exactly how it's gonna cut. So if I do this and I put vinyl right here, then it'll cut right here. And another thing that I like doing is cutting that out. So since the cut board, since your actual cutting mat has these same numbers, it's easy to tell where to cut out at. Okay, well, just to give it enough space, I'll cut off across 3 and 6, you know, and then it'll just give this space and leave all this open. rather than, you know, boom here, some old weird space like that. I like to kind of just, you know, put over here, and then I have all this other space to do other projects with. Heat transfer, make sure you mirror it so it will go on the shirt right, so it'll show up right. If you do not mirror it with heat transfer, whether you're putting it on a purse, a bag, a shirt, a hat, a hoodie, whatever you're putting it on, if it's heat transfer vinyl, make sure you mirror it. So then you press continue. So it takes you over here. It'll connect your machine first, and it'll connect via Bluetooth or USB. I got mine connected via Bluetooth. So then it'll say set material. I can choose off of one of these, or I can go back to my dial. And since I'm doing iron on, I'll do iron on. And you see it fixes it for you. You also see it says make sure mirror is turned on and the shiny side is facing down. Okay, so boom. We have the mirror on. The shiny side is facing down. So then you go to the next. Tools and mat loaded. There's no tool required in clamp A. Blade in clamp B. It's already set up. The blade is already in B, and there's nothing in A. So, and another thing, it says press go. So whenever that Cricut is blinking, that's how you know it's time to go. That's how you know your mat is loaded right. It's time to go. And it says go right here. You go ahead and you can click fast mode if you want. So whenever that Cricut is blinking, that's how you know it's time to go. It's ready to go. And while it's cutting over here, it'll show you over here the process. You just let it do its thing. So that was quick, and you'll see this blinking, which means unload the mat, and whenever you press this button, it'll slide it right back out to you. And when it slides back out to you, see if you look onto it now, can't see it that good, but it says Kid Game. And actually, one thing that I've learned too is when you're doing iron on a lot of the time, I know it says iron on right here, but if you go one pass, I heard that it cuts better when it comes to the glitter iron on. So you can't really see it that good, but it's up there and it's ready. So what happens is, I know some heat transfer you have to let dry. Not this one. So this is the side that we cut out. You can kind of see it a little bit, not really. So what you do is you go ahead and take the backing off of it. And like that, you see. And a lot of times I go ahead and just start pulling off. If there's real small letters or thin, I weed it out first. So then it looks like this. See, it actually looks like this, but we did the mirror, so now it looks like this. So then what you do now is you take your weeder, just this thing right here, and you go ahead and weed out the little places you don't want, like the little holes. So I'll be taking out this, and I'll be taking out this. So once again, it's probably best to cut it on the mat. Go ahead and get that A piece out, and go ahead and get the middle of that D out. So now, you see, so since I went ahead and weeded out the little, also looks different. Actually, let me get that little piece of the A off. So it's like that now. So now we have our printout. If this was regular vinyl, you would put the you would put the transfer tape over it and then peel it off like a decal. But since this is iron-on, we're ready to go. Okay, so I'm using this gray toboggan right here. Put it down like this. Go ahead and get your iron started up. I know a lot of people use a heat press. I don't have one yet. Like I said, I just started doing this not too long ago. So go ahead and take this and you lay it down. Position it or center it where you want to lay it down at. You lay it over the, like this. And this is where the actual, it's right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take it. Put a lot of pressure down on it since it's not a heat press and it is like a regular iron. This is actually a little cheap iron too. So what happens is, I know some heat transfer you have to let dry. Not this one. That's another one I made. I'm Mommy Gang. Follow me. Subscribe. This is also my new little merch line, Energy. It's all about the energy for Mike. From Florida to North Carolina. Kind of looks like fling or flying or something like that, but Florida to North Carolina, that's what that means.